stay tuned because for the next 60 minutes, Motorsports Unlimited is on the air.
Hi, I'm Samantha Bentley, and this is the 1081st edition of Motorsports Unlimited. Well, here it is. Last week's mystery is solved. If you'll recall, in our effort to save some classic episodes of Motorsports Unlimited, we wanted to update the two shows we taped with Diana Slease at Miller's Beach a decade ago. Only thing is, Bill couldn't figure out which ones they were. The first one he pulled, titled Miller Beach, turned out to be the one we did with Luda when they couldn't find Diana. The second, titled Miller Beach, turned out to be the third show we taped there and the second with Diana. But where was the first Diana Slease Miller Beach show? Well, it wasn't easy, but he found it. For some reason, he called it Lake Michigan Boating, and as he reviewed it, this wasn't the way he remembered. A senior moment, perhaps. Anyway, he found it, and today you're going to see it. Let's join Bob Delia, our announcer at the time, as he explains.
Well, it's not really Miller Beach. You see, it's... Wait a minute. Before I get you confused, let's join Bill, heading south somewhere on 294, and learn how to get to the Portage Marina. We'll get the rest later.
We are approaching the last toll booth on 294 going south toward Indiana. I want to say it's the 159th Street toll booth, but I really don't know that that's true. I know that we pass 159th Street before we get to this toll booth. Maybe this will help you understand where we're at. This is the about a mile or a mile and a half from I-80. As a matter of fact, Chuck, if you take your camera shot towards the front, show the audience where we're going. And by the way, I want to remind the audience, we got Chuck Hitzenthaler here on camera, as always, doing a fine job. And believe me, this isn't easy. We are inside of the van. It's very cramped quarters, but I am trying to tell a story here today about a different kind of a boating experience. This is about boating. It's going to be about a lot of things, but one of the main things is going to be about boating on Lake Michigan. And this is an entirely different kind of boating experience than we've shown you before. And I want you to see that it is one of the options that you have. That we're very lucky here in the Chicagoland area. This is one of the options that we have of going to Lake Michigan. In this case, we are going to Indiana. We're going to do two things. We're going to Portage. Now, wait for one moment here. I have to pay the toll. Single axle trailer, and I need a receipt, please.
What are you doing?
We're telling people how to go boating on Lake Michigan from Portage, Indiana. So smile. Thanks. Bye. In any event, we are going to go both to Miller Beach. We showed you Miller Beach last year. Miller Beach is where they do all the wave runners and the jet skis, but I've got my 19-foot cuddy cabin behind us right now, so we need a place to put a more traditionally sized boat in, and we're going to go to Portage, Indiana to do that and show you the beautiful new Portage, Indiana public boat launch. It's really nice. Now, Chuck, I don't know if the audience can see it, but right straight ahead, if you go to the right here, it's I-80 to the west to Iowa, and if you go to the left, which is where we're going, it's I-80 towards Indiana, and that's the way you get there from 294. I'm trying to give you kind of a reference point from O'Hare Airport because everybody knows where O'Hare Airport is. You take 294 south. By the way, there's another way to do this before I get carried away, and I've also done it that way. You can also take the Skyway, and where we are going is we're going to go to I-65 in Indiana. Most people who are familiar with Indiana know that I-65 is the major thoroughfare going north and south and kind of in the middle of Indiana. It goes to Indianapolis one way and goes to Lake Michigan the other way. But you could also do this by going the Skyway, and depending on time of day and the circumstances and where I'm leaving from, I've done it both ways. The Skyway is a little bit more expensive, but surprisingly, it's not a lot more expensive. It's just a little bit more expensive to go by way of the Skyway because by the time, because I'm hauling a trailer, and so it's going to be a single 60-cent toll on the 294 at each one of the three toll booths that I hit. So it's not exactly inexpensive
60
this way
cents
either.
with the trailer.
But in any event,
boy,
we
that
are
was a
headed
long
now
time ago.
into Indiana,
Hi, I'm May
and we are going to be
Chin, trying to figure
for
out why Bill didn't call
I-65,
this
and when we
show
get to
Miller
I-65,
Beach.
we're gonna go
Let's
left,
continue.
or I guess that would be north. Yes, it's north to go right to Lake Michigan. Matter of fact, when we get down the road a little bit further, well, let me just tell you just a little bit about what we're going to do today. If all goes well, we are going to hook up with Diana Slease. Everybody knows Diana Slease is one of the girls that's been on our program many, many times. And she's got a couple of wave runners, and she's supposed to have a girlfriend of hers, and they go to this Miller Beach all the time to go wave runnering and jet skiing, because it's sort of a haven for those sorts of things. And we are going to try to hook up with her there, and she's going to show us a little bit about how to ride wave runners, and at the same time a little bit about where you can go once you get down to this area to get started. And that's one of the reasons I brought my boat too, is because we want to do a little bit of traveling on Lake Michigan should weather conditions permit. We want to do a little traveling on Lake Michigan and give you an idea of, once you launch down there, where you can go. And I will point out that where we are going to launch both the boat from and do the wave runner work from is the furthest southernmost point of Lake Michigan, and it's really a different kind of a lake there than it is in the Chicago area. The water is about 10 or 15 degrees warmer. It is well, you know what? That part of it I think we'll wait till we get there, because I'm really amazed how clear the water is and all that. So hopefully, if we do this right, we'll be having you join us again when we get to the I-65 expressway and show you how to make the turn there, so that we can give you good, accurate directions of how to go boating in Lake Michigan.
So far, it's pretty straightforward. 294 south to 8094 east to I-65 north. Let's see if there are any complications at I-65.
We are approaching I-65 now. As a matter of fact, the first exit for I-65 obviously is I-65 South, and we're going to ignore that one and go to the next one. It also says, it's kind of a little bit confusing to me, but maybe I'm the only person that gets confused about it. Chuck, we got a well, you're going to be able to see it in a second. He'll be out of the way. It says I-65 North to Toll Road. I don't know if the camera picks that up. That's what we want, although we're not going to the toll road. You could go on the toll road from there, but that's not where we're going. We're just going to take I-65 North, and we're going to ignore it as far as where it goes to the toll road, because we want to kind of take I-65 to where it ends. Now let me just see here as we move up a little bit. The first exit we're going to come to is I-65 South. You should be kind of seeing that now, at least it's coming into my view, and that would take you to Indianapolis. And of course we're going to Lake Michigan, so we're not going to Indianapolis, and that would be the next one. We have to kind of go over the expressway and then Cloverleaf to go north on it. And I want to remind you, you can also do this by way of by going on the Chicago Skyway, and the Skyway takes you right. In fact, I think it's called Dunes Highway, but one of the street numbers you're looking for is Route 12. You'll see we're going to get to Route 12. I'm going to explain that in a minute. But the idea is to, when you see I-65 North, you want to take I-65 North, and I think they call it Dunes Highway or something like that off of the Skyway. Here it's just looking for I-65 North. And let me remind you that we're going to be hooking up with our lovely Diana Slease here a little bit later. And if you don't remember who Diana Slease is, because she hasn't done programs with us for quite a while, she's the one that does our Westbrook Auto Repair underwriting acknowledgement at the end of the program. And I'm sure you've all enjoyed her. So we look forward to seeing her a little bit later in the program after we show you how to do the rest of this. Now, it should be coming into your view. I hope I'm not speaking, telling you something you actually can't see on television, but it should, up there it says 65 North and to Toll Road. Don't be turned off by that toll road sign though, because it's we're not going to go on the toll road. It almost looks like if you go this way, you have to go on the toll road, and it's not so. Let me just brake here a little bit and try not to pitch Chuck through the windshield. Sorry about that, Chuck. A little bit hot coming in. And now we'll shoot you directly into the sun. That ought to make for nice pictures, right, Chuck? Chuck gets really frustrated with me when I don't plan this as well as I should. In any event, we are taking I-65 north, and we're going to have you come back and join us. This is only going to go a couple, 3 miles. We're not really very far south of the lake right now. This is only going to go 2 or 3 miles, and we're going to be coming to the end of I-65, and I do want to show you how that works. So we'll be right back, folks.
Bill passed under the I-65 ends sign and wants to show you what to do next.
We're back, folks. That only took a few seconds. Chuck, if you would, take your camera shot around to the front. I want them to see, and hopefully the iris can change quickly enough, that we're looking for this Route 12. Now, we don't want to go on the toll road. As a matter of fact, I think that would be the part of the Skyway deal, and this is where you'd be picking up I-65 if you'd been coming off the Skyway. But we're looking for that Route 12, and as you can see, there's a lot of construction around here. But if you just kind of go the general direction, if you went straight ahead right now, we'd run into Lake Michigan, but we got to kind of run a little bit further east here first, and I want to show you how this is done. We are reaching the end of I-65, and if you notice the sign on the right, Portage is to the right, that's where we want to go. And if you notice directly ahead the sign where it says east on 12, that's what we want, east on 12. And let me come over here. We can continue right on. And you want to stay on this 12, and I'll tell you how to do this. There's a cute little way that I always make sure that I'm going in the right direction. And I'll show it to you in a second here. Let's see if it's coming up fairly quickly. It may not be coming up just in the next 10 seconds or so. So we're gonna come right back. Don't go away. We're back, folks, and we are on Route 12. And the way I always make sure that I didn't get lost and that I'm doing this the right way, because a couple of times before I ended up getting on 20 somehow, and I want to be on 12. Chuck, take your camera shot to the left. I'm not really sure what this place is, but it's called Wiggles, and I think that's a real cute name. And it always tells me that if I go past Wiggles, I didn't take the wrong road. I'm on the right route, taking Route 12 going to Portage.
Wiggles, Bill? Wiggles? You point that out as a landmark? Now, Chuck has positioned himself in the boat to help you better see the route. By the way, so far, they've been on the road from O'Hare Airport about 1 hour and 15 minutes.
We're back, folks, and this is Route 12. And what we would be, if we were going to Miller Beach, what I call Miller Beach, and what Diana is now telling me is called by a lot of the locals down here, Lake Street Beach or Lake Beach. And because the road, if you look at the traffic light directly ahead of us, that is called South Lake Street. And if we were going to that beach, if we had our wave runner or jet ski with us, and we were going to that beach, we'd make a left turn here. The McDonald's is a real good reference point. This McDonald's is on the corner of South Lake Street and Route 12. And Chuck, if you take your camera shot to the left over there, that's the street that we would take to go right to that Miller Beach, and that street in fact ends at Miller Beach. If you took that street and went to the left and were real stubborn about it, you'd get your feet wet, because it goes right across Miller Beach and into Lake Michigan. We are going to bypass it for the moment, although we're going to be coming back to it. We're going to bypass it for the moment because we are continuing on to Portage, because that Miller Beach caters to jet skis and wave runners. And while there is a boat launch of sorts, I guess, although I've never seen it, there is a boat launch during the summer. During the after Labor Day, they apparently don't maintain it anymore, and all the sand fills in there. So we're going down to the Portage, which I'm guessing is about 5 or 6 miles further east. About 5 or 6 miles further east to this brand new public boat launch in Portage, Indiana. It's very pretty. We're going to show it to you in a minute. And we're going to launch my boat there. And we're still strategizing about how we're going to get back to Miller Beach with the camera equipment and all that. We haven't figured that out, but one of us is going to take the boat back to Miller Beach, and one of us is going to take the van back to Miller Beach. One way or the other, we'll figure it out, and when we get closer to Marina, again, we're going to go about 5 or 6 more miles west east here on Route 12 until we get to this new Portage Marina. And don't go away. We're coming right back.
So far, it's easy, and Bill says takes about an hour and a half from O'Hare Airport. Now let's find that marina.
We are in Portage, Indiana now, and I don't even think it's 4 or 5 miles. Seem more like maybe about 3 miles or so from that. I guess I'm going to have to find out what town that is. Miller, I'm going to say. Maybe it's not Miller, but anyhow, we're about 3 or 4 miles east of there now. And Chuck, if you pan your camera shot to the right, guess what? Voila, the brand new Portage Public Marina, and it is beautiful. And we are about, I'm going to say, about a half a mile south of Lake Michigan. You can't see it. Chuck, take your camera shot the other way and show the audience the steel mill there. The steel mill is in the way of seeing Lake Michigan. and there's a no-wake zone, about a 15-minute no-wake zone. From when you leave the marina by boat, there's about a 15-minute no-wake that takes you kind of past the steel mill and then out past the breakwater, and then you're in Lake Michigan and go any place you want from there. But this is a brand new facility here. As a matter of fact, we're just going to keep rolling for a minute as we enter the facility. It's just a matter of making a couple of right turns here. And this, by the way, is a public marina put together apparently by the town of Portage, Indiana. We'll be there in just a second here as we come along. We'll keep rolling a little bit just to give you an idea, if you do decide to come down this way, of an idea of what it looks like and where you're supposed to go and all that. So just bear with me here for a moment as I do a little maneuvering. And Chuck, if you would, just keep rolling. Try to show the folks how to utilize this facility.
I can see why Bill didn't call this show Miller Beach. We're 15 minutes into the show, and we still haven't seen Miller Beach.
If you'll notice, there's a sign here with an arrow that says to the ramp, and that's where we're going to go, is make a right turn. And apparently we're not the only folks taking advantage of this fine October weather. I see a number of other boats and trailers already parked here. I'm absolutely astonished today at the weather that we're having. Usually when I plan something like this, it's 40 degrees and snowing. But as it turns out, we have a beautiful day. And you really have to depend on this, because I can tell you Lake Michigan has a lot of different faces. And it can be flat and beautiful like a mirror, and it can be wild as our show last year when we did the thing on the Chicago River, where we started in Burnham Harbor and went around Meigs Field with 6-foot rollers. It was wild that day. Now, Chuck, if you show the audience the marina itself over here to your left, and also the facility here, we've got to stop and pay a few bucks to utilize this. And I'm just trying to give you an idea where the boat launch is. And Chuck, maybe you can show the audience that, I hope. And folks, don't go away. We're coming right back.
Gee, what a pretty place. Let's take a closer look.
We are now at the Portage Marina, and we've got a couple of the girls here that I run into occasionally. And like all males, I am quite used to this. You know that when you see women, you have to give them money. And you are?
Elizabeth Collins.
From?
Portage.
And?
Kimmy Richmond from Hobart.
Okay, and I understand you run this thing.
Yes, I'm the office manager here at the marina.
Okay, couple things real quickly. How long has this place been open? Because it's beautiful. It looks all brand new. And Chuck, while we're talking, if you would just kind of do a little pan shot of the building. It's very pretty here.
I believe the facility has been here for 5 years. I'm fairly new here, but I believe it's been here for 5 years.
Okay, so the idea here now is you come down, as we've already explained to people, you come down this boat ramp, you come here, pay the few bucks that it costs, and you get a little ticket for your window, put the thing in your window, and as we can see behind us, the people are launching and retrieving their boats behind us. And Chuck, if you can, take your camera shot and show where the boats go. You go out to the end there and make a right-hand turn to go out to Lake Michigan, am I correct?
Right.
But it is about a 15-minute no-wake area.
Correct.
That's right. Now, I know you guys can't do this officially because you don't have a weather station here or anything like that, but I've called down here before, and you guys hear from the boaters whether it's rough out on the lake or not?
That's correct. They when they come in off of the water, we generally ask them so that we can inform the rest of the public.
Right, and fishing reports and all that?
Yes, fishing reports as well.
Okay,
and how they're catching it.
Yeah, as you know, I'm not a fisherman. I don't care about that stuff. I care about the water skiing and the tubing and all that sort of thing. But it is nice to know that you can call down here, because Lake Michigan can be very tricky. It can give you a lot of different faces. It can be smooth as a sheet of glass, and it can have 10, 15-foot waves out there. Am I correct?
Right.
So it's a good idea. In fact, I think the way that these guys tell, I don't see it around here, there's a smokestack from the steel mill, and if the smoke is going out towards the lake, we've got smooth water here on this. Am I right?
Yeah.
And if it's blowing this way, we got trouble.
Actually, I watch the flags. If the north wind is blowing, we can generally guarantee that there's going to be at least 3 to 5 foot waves. If it's a hard north wind, then it blows. The lake kicks up a lot more than that.
Right. And if it's blowing the other way, blowing toward the north from the south, then it's nice water.
Generally, yes.
And
Southwest can tend to be a little. It can make a few waves also, but as far as north wind is what we endure the most.
Meaning from the north.
Right.
That's the toughest condition.
Right.
Well, folks, I'll tell you what. Chuck is now going to go. We've finished our strategy session. Chuck is going to take the boat. I'm going to take the camera equipment and the rest of the gear and go back to Miller Beach. Chuck is going to take the boat. And I think, Chuck, this is going to be his first time. I can see the beads of perspiration breaking out his forehead. This is going to be his first opportunity. So it's smooth out there today, right?
Right.
Okay, that's what we've heard.
That's what I'm hearing, yes.
Okay, well, Chuck, I hope they're right.
The phone number for the Portage Marina is 219-763-6833. We'll give you that again later in the program. Now let's go to Miller Beach and see if Bill and Chuck's plan worked.
Well, if you look over Chuck's left shoulder, you can see my blue and white 19-foot cuddy cabin. Chuck, first time captaining the ship.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, yesterday was your first time on Lake Michigan.
Yeah, the second time on Lake Michigan. I'm still mad at the first time on Lake Michigan.
Right, the first time on Lake Michigan was when we did the Chicago River Show, where we had to put it in Burnham Harbor, go around Meigs Field. They had 6-foot rollers. Chuck doesn't swim. You took your life in your hands. It's been about, what, a year and a half since then?
And I'm still mad.
You're still mad, but at least I was able to get you to come to Lake Michigan again. And this is a whole different Lake Michigan, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's real smooth out there, and as long as you're reasonably close to the shore, you can go as fast as you want. There's no rollers at all.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. We did a little exploration here yesterday. It's pretty cool. So I just wanted to show you that Chuck did, in fact, captain the ship for about a half an hour, right?
Yeah.
And got it here. And as a matter of fact, how about a little pat on the back for me? I got the equipment down here safely.
Yeah, but you didn't crash the van, and I didn't crash the boat, so we're even.
Cool. I think the girls are arriving.
Bill was right. Diana just arrived, and the first order of business was launching her wave runners.
Finally, Miller Beach. I wonder why Bill called this show Lake Michigan Boating.
Now it's time to meet Diana and her friend and learn a little about riding personal watercraft on the southern tip of Lake Michigan.
Well, guess what? We have our old friend Diana Slease here again. Can't believe I just walked in front of your camera shot.
I know. What's wrong with you?
I know. You
Getting
think I'd know
camera
better.
etiquette?
Yeah. No. I'm just having a little fun with you. I'll just kind of stand here and talk to your girlfriend. How about that? She would kill me. I know Diana well enough. She would actually kill me. Please, once again, reintroduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, I'm Diana Slease, and I live here in Miller Beach.
Okay. Did you watch the Miller Beach show that we did?
Yes, I did.
Did I make
watched
any
it.
terrible mistakes?
You made a few.
Let's correct them right now.
This is Lake Street.
No, stop it right now.
Okay,
this is
what?
not a street.
Well, it dead ends on Lake Street.
Right.
This is a dead end of Lake
And
Street.
this is called Lake Street Beach.
Yeah, Lake
You
Street
told me it
Beach.
was Miller Beach.
Well, it's
and you
Lake
just said
Street-
it again.
People call it Lake Street Beach. People call it Miller Beach. You know, Miller is an extension of Gary. We've tried to annex ourselves off of Gary. Gary won't let us be our own community. So we're Miller Beach, but we're still Gary, Indiana.
So it's both Miller Beach and Lake Street Beach.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Miller Beach is like all this beach, but this is like Lake Street. People just call it Lake Street Beach. They dock because it's the docking where they dock boats and jet skis, and this is Lake Street.
Okay, well, we've already told folks how to get there. What other mistakes did I make?
Oh, someone said the next beach over was West Beach. The next beach over is Marquette Beach. That's a park, Marquette Park. Then after that is Wells Street Beach, and then West Beach is beyond that.
Chuck, can you get a shot of that at all, or did I put you right by a post? Kind of swing down that way and see if you can show the folks what she's talking about. And we're kind of seeing a sand dune, and I must tell you, and hopefully we're going to show the folks that today, this is, I do not think of Indiana as sand dunes. I think of
Cornfields?
No, well, cornfield stuff. I don't think of it as sand dunes, but this, you know, they could shoot pictures here for like Arabian Desert.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's all duney and it's hilly, and Mount Baldy is the biggest dune in northwest Indiana, and it's further down in the dunes, the Dune State Park.
This is an absolutely beautiful area, and speaking of beautiful, you don't mind if I take a moment to introduce your girlfriend?
Go ahead.
Okay, let me swing on over here because she talked her girlfriend into coming down and participating here today, and you are?
I'm Laura Hill from Chicago.
Laura, from Chicago? You're from Indiana?
Yeah.
And you got a friend from Chicago?
Yeah.
Well, I've been out here for 10 years. I've been jet skiing for ever and ever.
As a matter of fact, you told me before we went on you've been jet skiing for about 10 years now and actually participated in competition.
Yes, I did. I raced for a couple seasons, and I did not race last season because I had a shoulder injury. But I plan on getting in shape and racing next season.
As a matter of fact, she has a personal web page where you can tune in there and find out about her jet ski racing exploits and get a pencil and paper. We're going to tell you that in a minute. We won't do it right now because you don't have a pencil and paper, and you get mad and say, why doesn't he wait till we get a pencil and paper? Now, you've got 2 sit-downs here today, and Diana Slease behind us, if Chuck can show the audience. You've got your 2 sit-downs here, but I understand you also have a stand-up machine.
Yes, I do. I have a Yamaha Superjet, a 750. It's brand new. I didn't bring it out today because I couldn't get it on the trailer by myself.
It's too heavy.
It's way too heavy for me all by my little self.
Yeah, but my question is, then you're a person, obviously you have experience with both, and you're a person that can answer the question, first of all, which one do you prefer? Second of all, what's the difference?
Well, obviously the difference is one is a sit down and one is a stand up.
No, yeah, I understand that, but I mean as far as, here's my impression, and you tell me if I'm wrong because you're an expert and I'm not. I've barely touched these things. It seems to me the stand-up units require a great deal of expertise. You really have to know how to do it and what you're doing, and really requires an athlete. It seems like the sit-down ones, anybody can do it.
Well, yeah, the sit-down ones, anybody can do it. Anybody can sit down, but not anybody can do a lot of the stuff that we do on the sit-down ones. With the stand-up, it takes a little bit more balance. You do have to be a little bit more athletic for the stand-up jet skis. It's a lot more squirrely. It's lighter, obviously, and you can do a lot of things on the stand-up that you can't do on the sit-down.
Okay, now if they've got their pencils and papers, tell them what your website is.
They don't need a pencil and paper to remember LauraHill.com.
You're right. Is it common spelling, LauraHill.com?
Laura Hill, LauraHill.com. Laura Hill. Sounds like chlorophyll.
Okay. She assumes I could spell Laura. She assumes I can spell Laura. In any event, by the way, Chuck, if you would, take your camera shot over here. We got a really cute little girl and a great dog named Flash. And that's your daughter?
That's my daughter, Chloe Hill, and our dog, Flash.
Chloe, give the camera a little wave, huh? Give a wave over there? Okay. It looks like they're anxious to go.
Yep, I'm ready too.
Okay, the first thing we should probably do you have any tips about, in fact, both of you, about what people should do on wave runners and what they shouldn't do? And by the way, we're going to use the term wave runner and jet ski. This is very complicated. When these things first started, they were called jet skis. Kawasaki invented it. They were stand-up units. There were a great deal of difficulty to do. It took a real athlete and all that. Later on, Yamaha came along with the wave runners, the sit-down kinds. Eventually, Kawasaki also did the sit-down kinds. And as a matter of fact, as I understand it, Kawasaki doesn't have the stand-up kind anymore, but Yamaha does. Putting all that aside, they all came under one name eventually because they tried to sort this thing out. Nobody knew what you were talking about. You said jet ski, wave runner, what have you, and they wanted to call them personal watercraft, and that's such a mouthful. Nobody can say it. So, go ahead.
Not to interrupt, but
No, please do. That's what I need all the help I can get, and that's what we've got you here for. Help me.
Kawasaki does have a stand-up.
They do again?
Yes, and I have one of those at home, as well as the Yamaha.
Okay, so Kawasaki has started making the stand-ups again.
No, they've had the stand-up.
Continuously?
Yes, they've had them.
Okay, what should we know about them? What kind of advice would you give to people as to how to take them out and have fun with them? We're not talking about doing fancy tricks and all that. We're just talking about enjoying them, coming out and enjoying boating, but I kind of consider this sort of an entry-level way of boating in that it doesn't take a huge storage facility all winter, and you know what I mean? You can kind of lean them inside your garage. So what should people do and not do with them?
Well, what you should do is just be safe when you're out here and be courteous to the other riders. Most of all, you really don't want to crash into anybody. It gets pretty dangerous. We get huge waves out here. Lake Michigan is very underestimated, and we do get big swells where you can't see the other riders on the other side of a wave or a swell, and you want to be careful of that. and always wear your life vest. And
okay, as a matter of fact, we have mentioned that earlier in the program that Lake Michigan is beautiful right now. And Chuck, if you can show the audience the sailboat out there cruising along, it's absolutely lovely out there today. But I'm going to tell you what, we've been on Lake Michigan where I have been told by offshore boat races when we've done offshore boat shows that Lake Michigan is the most treacherous body of water in the world, that they would rather race on the Atlantic Ocean because of the way this thing swells and chops, and it has to do with its size and wind, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot more shallow than the ocean, obviously. When lakes are more shallow there, you get bigger waves, which is, in my
You want the waves.
in my opinion, I like the waves. So maybe the next show you'll come out here when we have a north wind instead of this stupid little south wind. And
we were praying for a south wind.
No, I was praying for a north wind, always.
Okay, folks, what they're talking about, and I don't know if I can see it. Chuck, yes, you can. I bet you can see that smokestack down there. If you can swing the camera shot over there, and here's the way to judge this. They're going to say the exact opposite. When the smoke is blowing toward the lake, come on out and go boating because the lake is real flat and it's real nice. On the other hand, if you're a couple of goofs like these two and want to jump waves, when the smoke goes the other way, it's time to come out. Do I have it right?
Oh yeah, jumping the waves are the funnest because you can catch air, and it's a lot more exciting. Because this is kind of boring. You can do tricks, but then it gets bold. You know, you need waves.
And then you sit down and have a beer. Yeah, this is a good beer drinking day.
Good beer drinking day. Well, I'll tell you something. If you've got a regular boat like I do, I don't really want to go out there and break up the boat. So I kind of, you know what I mean. So I kind of like it this way. So we're going to get started now. I want a real quick run through this. Laura, if you would take your position on the machine the way you would normally ride it, and Diana, if you would step over here because I have something I want to give the audience a little bit of instruction. Go ahead and sit on it the way you would normally ride it. These things are among the easiest of all. Oh, no. I don't mean that normally. I mean normal human being normal. I can see that. No, I want to once again remind the audience that wave runners are among the easiest vehicles there are to drive. You literally have only one control, and that's the throttle right here. When you want to go, you push this, and when you want to stop, you let go of it. The only other thing is the steering control. But the one tricky thing about these devices, and this applies to any kind of a jet boat, they only steer when you give them throttle. It takes time to get used to it. You can't be pulling into something with the throttle off and turn the steering and expect any real steering control. There's a little bit, but not much. You have to squirt the throttle, and it's because there's no, I'm going to break my neck on your light, because there is no propeller here in the back. In fact, all this is like a big water nozzle here, just like a fire hose, a fireman holding a fire hose spraying out the back. And if you turn it one way or the other and give it a shot of that fire hose, the thing will react to it. If you don't have any steering control. And if you don't agree, tell me.
Bill, you sound like the expert. Now, I hope that you have your shorts on under there because you're going to show us exactly how easy it is to ride this machine, right?
Tell her I never informalize my look.
No, this is how he is always.
Yeah, I sleep like this.
I've even seen him get his pants wet before.
I've been knee deep.
To knee deep in water. Okay.
Okay.
Right, well, I brought you a life vest, so you can put it on right over this.
Well, we're going to see, folks, anyhow, as you can see, we're going to have fun today. I want to do one more thing, and then we'll get busy. Chuck, broaden your shot. Once again, I want the audience to see what a gorgeous area this is down here. What we are trying to do today is give you another option. We've taken you boating on the chain of lakes. We've started at Algonquin with our friend Erickson Marine and gone all the way up the Fox River to the chain of lakes. We've started on the chain of Lake State Park and brought you down towards Algonquin. We've taken you on the Illinois River through Seneca. We've taken you through Morris, Illinois. We're trying to show you all the options. Yeah, we've done Lake Michigan going by the Chicago River. We're trying to show you all the boating options there are in the Chicago area, and it's wonderful, isn't it? We're real lucky.
Yeah, and a lot of Illinois people come to this particular area. I mean, hardly ever you see people that live around here. Surprisingly, it's a lot of Illinois people that come here at this particular boat dock.
Well, hopefully with our help, more people will come here because this really is pretty cool.
What a beautiful area. I wish I'd been there. Now, while Laura unloads her watercraft, let's take a look at Diana's.
That's what Diana would rather be doing right now, out in the water playing, although she quickly points out that this is not good enough waves for her. But I can tell you they're plenty good for me. Diana, come on up here. I don't want to get any wetter than I usually do on these boat shows. I'm usually knee deep in this stuff. You want to be out there?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, can you believe October, we got this kind of weather?
October 1st. This is great. This is our Indian season, Indian summer.
Okay, this is Motorsports Unlimited. You know the drill. Tell me your name, sir. Where are you from? We got all that part already. Now tell me about your watercraft.
Okay, I have 2 Yamaha wave runners. This is a 650 and this is a 750, and there's 90, 91, so they're about 10 years old, but they run good. I got a really good deal on them. They're in mint condition, except this one has a little bit of fiberglass damage.
How'd you do that?
I didn't do it. The previous owner, actually they wrecked into each other and they got scared. They put them in a garage and they never rode them again, and I got a really good deal on them.
Well, you were the one that told us about this Miller Beach or Lake Street Beach, whichever it is. It depends, I guess, on whether it's Lake Street.
Lake Street right here.
Yeah.
All this is Miller Beach, but this is particularly Lake Street Beach.
This part of Miller Beach is Lake Street Beach.
Right.
Okay. We're not going to get into this Miller thing because it's real complicated, and it has to do with the people. They're real thick-headed. They don't want to say they're from Gary, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. No, you'd be surprised. It's quite a controversy down here. In any event, a couple things I wanted to talk about, and I hope we're going to be able to do it in this program. First of all, I want you to show now. What we've got here is like a little place here where the guys are launching the waverunners. And Chuck, if you broaden your shot, you can kind of see they're all lined up here on the beach, and they're launching them here. But it's really not deep enough to ride here.
No, actually the launch pad is right there. And after Labor Day, they quit dredging the sand, so that's why we have this difficult time in launching the jet skis, and people get stuck. And
well, does it happen that quickly?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
They have to dredge it every weekend. Usually they do it just to keep it, active, and they can.
Wow. But the point I'm trying to make is, Chuck, if you take your camera shot over there a little bit, that's actually land there before you get to the water. And if you look at our boat sitting out there, our boat is getting higher and higher. Yeah. It looks like the water level is going down.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. You know how much trouble I'm going to have moving it now?
I'll help you.
I was worried about it floating away. It's the other problem.
Yeah.
It's starting to get on ground.
Yeah.
But where these guys are now, too, is they're actually, see, he's walking. It's only, it's not even ankle deep there.
It's just ankle deep.
So it's like a sandbar out
Yeah,
there.
what I'm going to have to do is I'm probably have to go out that way around the sandbar to get out into the real lake. So
okay,
it's going to take some maneuvering.
Okay, so what we're going to have you do then is you're going to go out here, you're going to fire it up, and we're going to follow you out there, and then you're going to be able to do a little riding for us out there. Can you do that?
I just hope this thing starts. I've been having problems with this summer, and it's kind of squirrely.
Well,
squirrely.
The nice thing about Motorsports Unlimited is both Chuck Hitzenthaler and myself are talented mechanics,
All
and
right.
we can certainly get anything running.
Okay, good.
Okay, so folks, the next thing you're going to see, and hopefully Laura Hill, I hope she got got it launched. So in any event, next, Diana Slease is going to take you out onto Lake Michigan, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay, let's watch her go. If you didn't hear it, Diana said, "I've got to get my life jacket."
I get it. I see why Bill spent so much time looking for this show to save it.
Okay, both girls are ready. It's time to ride.
Well, true to Diana's word, her wave runners would not run, and Chuck and I spent a little time getting one of them going, so we've got one of them going. Both of them were flooded rather badly. Probably time for some new plugs and maybe a little different starting technique. They have to go out that way, away from our camera, because it's real low there, and I have with me, you are?
Tana.
Tana, and you're Diana's sister?
Yes.
So your parents wanted all the names to rhyme?
Yes.
Okay, are you a jet skier also?
Yes.
Oh, are you too?
Yes.
Okay, well, who's better, you or Diana?
Diana.
Really? Okay.
They're her jet skis.
Well, okay, you use hers then.
Yes.
All right, we've got a ton of them out there right now, and I've told the girls that they kind of have to stay in our camera shot. Chuck, you can go out there and chase them. I bet you've lost track of them, yes. You can see Diana is driving away from us right now. Can you see her? Have you got her there? Yep, picking up. We've got, for some reason, all of a sudden, we have got a ton of wave runners out there. And I'm trying, oh, there's Laura. Yeah, she's making an S-turn right in front of us there. Did you see that, Chuck? No, you can't quite pick her up. You got them? You got both the girls? Okay, I think you're on them, Chuck. Hopefully we're going to get the crash of the century here. What do you think? Does Diana ever crash?
Not very often.
Well, I hope not, because, we don't care if guys get scarred up, but we really care if girls get scarred up.
Yes, that's true.
Absolutely. Males are much more disposable. It's amazing. They look like they're having a good time, but they say they want much bigger waves.
Oh, yeah, these waves are pretty small today. We've been out here when they were 4 or 5 feet high, and it's pretty scary.
Yeah, I would think it'd be pretty scary. I myself, having a power boat here, that's my 19-foot cuddy cabin out there. I like it nice and flat like this. So so I guess depending what kind of a craft you have decides on what kind of actual conditions you'd like to see.
That's right. Now, I like the waves that are a little bit higher than this, but not 4 feet or 5 feet high. That's too high for me.
I suppose it depends on your level of expertise. I guess the better you get, the more challenge you want, I imagine.
Yep, that's right.
Well, it looks like they're having... Now, who's better between Diana and Laura?
I really can't say.
Because Laura raced competitively and everything.
Then I guess it would have to be Laura.
Yeah, because apparently she's pretty good at this. Yeah. And I hope, now what I'm hoping we're going to do here is we're going to run down, we don't want to just film them just out there playing, although that's pretty cool. But we want to run down the lakeshore along here and show people how enjoyable this area is. This is a very nice area to go boating. Are you aware of that?
Oh, yes. I've been out here for about 12 years with my sister. She's lived on the beach for about 10 years, and I lived with her, so we've always been on the lake.
Okay, that's it. Chuck, you told me we're out of tape? 10 seconds, we're out of tape. Okay, folks, don't go away. We're coming right back.
That looks like great fun, but Bill said it was even more fun watching Diana try to get into her wetsuit. She actually fell in, trying to get it on. Let's hear what she had to say.
Hi guys, we're back. Finally here, and we're at Lake Street Beach in Miller Beach, Bill. Actually, all this is Miller Beach. All this sand dune you see is Miller. And this is Lake Street Beach right here where we just launched, where we shot earlier. And Bill wants to take us to the warm water discharge all the way down past Bethlehem Steel. What a hike that's going to be, Bill.
Not for a real boat.
What?
Not for a real boat.
Yeah, well, you got a good boat, yeah. Look at this boat. Did you ever pan a shot at this boat, Chuck?
It has a 406 Corvette engine.
Really? It goes that fast? I don't know if I can keep up with this thing then. All right, so I guess we're going to get on our journey and let's see how this thing goes.
You want to mention to them about how much fun it is to put on a
wetsuit? Oh my God. It took... You guys, do not put a wetsuit on when you're totally wet. And when Laura over here was drenching me...
Okay, we're going east.
We're going east, guys. We'll see you soon.
Let's head east with them.
Miller Beach really is a special place, and this looks like great fun. I'd love to try it.
In a few minutes, they arrived at the next beach east.
Hey guys, okay, I just wanted to stop Bill and his expedition for a minute to explain that this is Marquette Park. And that is the old bathhouse that was originally built in the 1920s, and it just has been restored within the last couple of years. They have parties there. It's really nice. And so I just wanted to make a quick stop. Marquette Park, all this is Marquette Park. It's a public park, and it's beautiful. If you drive around it has a nice drive, and it's a nice park. So you ready to move on, Bill? We're going east.
Let's join them again. Diana surprised Bill with the next stop.
Another pit stop is my house. Right here, right off street, those two sheds. I want to show everyone that's where I live, in the dunes. And we're going east. Quick and easy.
I live in those two sheds.
Yeah.
Let's see where they're going next. This time, it was Laura's stop. Let's see what she found of interest.
Okay, we're back again. Now we're at Wells Street Beach. This is one of my favorite beaches, other than Lake Street. This beach usually is packed. You can bring your motorboats up, your speedboats, and it's packed full of boats all the time. Unfortunately, right now, there's not many people here because it's October. But end of the season. But normally, the reason this is one of my favorite beaches is all my friends come here with their boats, and this is the ultimate party beach. So it's a lot of fun here, and we often ride our jet skis down from Lake Street Beach and just hang out and party and have a great time. And now we are heading east.
Gee, this beautiful white sand beach seems to go on for miles.
I see why Bill might have called this Lake Michigan boating. He's on the boat on Lake Michigan. Of course, all he remembered was Diana and Laura on Miller Beach. Guys.
Let's see where Diana stopped this time.
We are now at West Beach. This is Porter County, the first beach in Porter County. It's more a family beach, and jet skis and boaters are not allowed to drop their anchors here during season. So, guess we're breaking the law. Okay, we're going east.
The girls were having a great time riding between points of interest.
Before we forget, now that the mystery of the third Miller Beach show is solved, let's take just a moment to acknowledge those who helped make this updated show possible. Art Lashot, May Chin, Janine Lashot, and our webmaster, Frank Barbalaise, and me, Samantha Bentley.
This time, Bill wanted to stop to show you where the entrance to Portage Marina was.
Diana has all kinds of things to say about this beach behind us. Tell us.
This is Ogden Dunes, an exclusive beach community, an extension of Portage, and this is the Portage Marina we are at the entrance of.
Chuck, can you take your camera shot over there? I want to show the audience where you took the boat from. If you see that, it's a green and white kind of a thing there that marks the breakwater. You go into that breakwater, and then it's about a 15-minute no-wake area to get back to the Portage Marina, where Chuck started off with our boat earlier this morning. Now you can come back over here, Chuck, because Tana wants to say something.
And we're heading to the warm water discharge. That will be our next stop.
Oh, you gave it away. I wanted to tell the audience, there's a thing we're going to called Boaters Beach, and I know you're shooting right in the sun now, Chuck, and it's hard. Boaters Beach, and I wondered why all the boats were clustered there, and boy, are you going to find out in a minute, so don't go away.
As you could see, Tana had enough of riding in the boat. She jumped on Diana's wave runner. Diana jumped on Laura's, and Laura jumped in the boat. Now let's check out this place called Boaters Beach.
Chuck, pan over to the right again. In fact, keep going. I want you to show the ugly steel mill over there. I shouldn't say ugly because I'm sure it's very pretty to many people. But when I first came down here a few weeks ago to check this all out, they told me about Boaters Beach, also called Donut Beach. And they said that all the boaters go down there. So I came down here to investigate this thing and see what was going on. And as I came down along this whole steel mill, I'm saying to myself, this doesn't make a lick of sense. Why are all these boats clustered? And Chuck, show the audience the boats are clustered over there by the steel mill when they can go down just and take your camera shot down here a little bit, Chuck, and look at all the gorgeous dunes and the scenery and the beautiful white beaches and everything. Why in the heck are these guys all clustered over there? Why are they clustered over there, Laura?
Over where?
Over here.
Well, this is the best part of our whole trip today, and this is our reward for coming this far on our jet skis. Over here, the water...
Go ahead and Chuck, show where she's pointing.
Over here, the water coming from... the discharge water coming from the...
Bethlehem Steel.
That's not Bethlehem Steel. That's a utility plant. That's NIPSCO. Coming from there is about 15 to 20 degrees warmer. So it's like a big bath, a big hot tub, and we all get to go in now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'll tell you something. It is amazing. That water is so warm. I stopped down here yesterday when Chuck and I came to one more reconnaissance tour down here, and we're talking about October. I took my dog in my arms. I walked him to shore, and he's just a little, about 15-pound poodle. He was swimming in there. It's like bathwater the closer you get.
Oh, it is. It's so warm. I can't wait to get this wetsuit off and go in.
Okay, one more point I want to make about this.
You're not
Diana,
fooling anyone, Bill. I know why you wanted to make sure you saved these shows.
I walked back and forth to the boat at least 3 times yesterday, and all the way from about chest deep to about ankle deep, and I did not step on a single rock or stone. It is all white sand. Are you aware of how remarkable that is?
Yes, I've been here a few times, and it is pretty, sandy and nice. There's not much garbage down there.
Yeah, it's kept very nice. Apparently the people have some discipline.
Well, this is the dunes. It's a national lakeshore, so it is kept up by the government. This is all national lakeshore right here that we're behind.
Oh, so the government does keep it up?
Oh yeah, this is national lakeshore. As you can see, there's no houses back here. It's all government-owned property.
Well, we are being blown right now, folks. Just so you know, we are being blown past the reason they call this the Donut Beach, too. This is a big round thing, as I described it to Chuck yesterday, and Chuck says, no, that's not a round thing, Bill. That's a water inlet where they're getting the water that they're discharging on the other end, and it comes out hot. Did you guys know all that?
Yes, we did know that. In fact, I was just explaining it to my little daughter, that the water does go in through the lake, and they cool the plant down with it, and then it's discharged out, and it's so warm. It's awesome.
A strong current, too. Pulls you in.
Yeah, it's really remarkable area. Now, my question is, is that year-round like that? Because it can't possibly freeze over or anything then.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't freeze over. Actually, the lake never really freezes.
No.
It's always wavy, and it's always never freezes fully.
For these people like the polar bear nuts, and I don't want to say nuts, but the people go into water in the winter and all that sort of stuff, that could almost be a swimming area.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, in the winter with ice around and everything.
That would be a great place for them to meet.
Not you.
Huh? Not me. I'm not in the Polar Bear Club.
I would if it were held up here. Yeah.
Okay, well, we've had a lot of fun here today. And what's your daughter's name again?
My daughter's name is Chloe.
Chloe, I want you to come. Yes, I'm sorry. Chloe, I want you to come over here very carefully around the wires, please.
Bill, Laura's jet ski is so much faster than mine. It is the bomb.
That's an understatement.
Well, I hate to burst your bubbles, but you know the new 1200s are absolute rocket ships.
Yeah.
Well, don't even get me started on those because I could blow those away. Any day of the week, I'll take any challenge.
She's the same as you. She's as bad as you are.
Also, I'm getting drenched out here. The water is cold. The air is nice. It's like 80 degrees, but the water is pretty cold. I'm glad I'm wearing my wetsuit all the way.
Was it really worth the effort? You fell in the water putting it on. She's in the middle of Lake Michigan, bobbling around and tumbled into the water.
It was definitely worth the effort putting this thing on. Definitely.
Chloe, come on over here for a minute, please. Step right on over here, and I want the audience to see that we've got flash down here, too. Chuck, can you tilt down and see we've got flash here? And, honey, I want you to look up at our camera, and I got something for you to say, okay? I want you to look at our camera, and I want you to say...
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
It sure looked like everyone had a great time, but unfortunately, they won't be right back because we're out of time with only enough left to acknowledge the fine work of our award-winning production team, including Chuck Itzenthaler, Sue Casanda, John Papke, and Tom McGrady. Special thanks to JBTV's Jerry Bryant. Music is created for us by Fireside Recording Studio in Westchester, Illinois, and by independent artist Roger Pauley and Jerry Herbert. Of course, we have to take a moment to thank the stars of this edition of Motorsports Unlimited: Diana Slease, Laura Hill, Tana Jackson, and our host, Bill Wildt. Me, I'm Bob Delia, hoping you got that pencil and paper ready, because I'm going to give you the number of the Portage Marina. It's 219-763-6833. That's 219-763-6833. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
This program made possible in part by support from PB Food Products, located on 47th Street at Western Avenue in Chicago, Illinois.
This program made possible in part by support from J.C. Whitney & Company, located just off I-80 at the Utica exit in LaSalle, Illinois.
This program made possible in part by support from Jimmy's Red Hots, located on Grant Avenue and Pulaski Road in Chicago.
This program made possible in part by support from the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade, held on Western Avenue in Chicago, the first Sunday in December.
Motorsports Unlimited is produced by Bill Wildt, President of the Motorsport Advancement Crusade.
This program made possible in part by support from ABC Auto Parts, located on Ashland Avenue at 138th Street in Blue Island, Illinois.
This program made possible in part by support from Bridgestone Firestone and your local Bridgestone Firestone tire retailers.
This program made possible in part by support from Copy That, located in the County Farm Plaza at County Farm Road and Army Trail Road in Carroll Stream, Illinois. Motorsports Unlimited was created to raise public consciousness, understanding, and appreciation of the motorsport community and their activities. You can contact us by email at msutv.com, or you can write to Motorsport, P.O. Box 66242, Chicago, Illinois, 60666. We enjoy hearing from our audience. Please let us know what you think.
Next week on Motorsports Unlimited, it's the 46th annual Whirl the Wheels show held at McCormick Place on Chicago's lakefront. You probably noticed I didn't say car show, I said show, and that's because the Whirl the Wheels is way more than a car show. There's an entire hall devoted to motorcycles, there are celebrities, there's a very important Legends of Motorsports Guild brunch, and much more. All next week on Motorsports Unlimited.
So that's it, another edition of Motorsports Unlimited and the lovely ladies of motorsports. And be with us next week because we'll have something real exciting. Bill Wildt's going to have the lovely ladies, and just about anything can happen right here on Motorsports Unlimited. Every week at this time, we bring you the best in motorsports. So be seeing ya. Bye-bye. And keep on rocking.